G'day whānau, welcome to Pigeon Mountain Primary School. We'd like to take you on a virtual tour. We'd love to welcome you in person, but we'd like to take you on a little virtual tour around our school. So welcome to our reception area, which is sitting alongside our turf and our field. Our school is divided into 6 teams. We have 3 junior teams and 3 senior teams. We're about to go into the first junior team, and that's Team Puriri. Team Puriri. Welcome to Team Puriri, rooms 1 to 3. So you're just leaving Team Puriri, going through room 4 and you're entering room 5. And room 5 is part of Team Manuka, and that's the next team we're going to go through. So Manuka is in room 6. Go through, we'll explain a little bit about this structure that we have. Team Manuka, Team Pahudakawa are 3 of our junior teams, and we'll explain how it works when a child starts at our school, how they remain within that same team for the first 3 years. Welcome to Team Manuka. Team Manuka is made up of room 6, room 7, and 8 and 9. We've got 4 classes in this team, but in this particular area we've got 3 classes. And this is the best place to explain to you how the model works. Children come into our school as a year 0 or as a year 1. They spend their first year in a classroom here and they work alongside a teacher throughout the course of the year. Working in this area as well are the children from year 2 and the children from year 3. They remain with the same teacher every day, all day. But what happens is over the course of the years that they're in this team, they transition to the teacher next door, and then for their 3rd year, they transition to the year 3 teacher. So they're incredibly familiar with their learning surroundings, they're incredibly familiar with their teachers. The teachers have a really good understanding of the students, not just in their class, but in the adjoining classrooms. Teachers and teams meet on a weekly basis to discuss their students, so we're making sure that we're meeting their well-being needs, their pastoral care needs, their academic needs as effectively as we possibly can. And then after 3 years at school, the first 3 years, we transition them into the senior teams, and we have a big mix-up of all the children. For their first 3 years, they remain with the same group of children for 3 years, and we find that reduces all issues around anxieties, around transitions. And as a parent, it enables parents to get to know the teachers, not just of this year, but of subsequent years as well. Welcome to Team Pahudakawa. Team Pahudakawa is made up of room 10, room 11, and behind me room 12. And the same principle applies. This is our 3rd junior team. Children come into Team Pahudakawa, they join as a year 1 or a year 0. They're remaining here through that year. They transition to the year 2 class and then to the year 3 class, and they work all in this area. Our children are very familiar. They use their school values of respect, resilience, responsibility, and excellence to make sure they moderate their voices when they're working in these areas. It's a really great training for them as they move up through our school. The team leader, every team has a team leader, and this room 10 is the team leader's classroom, and she oversees the work of the team to ensure that there's a strong culture that fits with our school culture of education with a heart, and ensure that teachers and students work collaboratively. But the same principle applies. The children remain with the same teacher on a daily basis. The following year, they go to the year 2 teacher. The following year, they go to the year 3 teacher. And it enables our parents to get a really strong working relationship with all of the teachers in the team. And it turns our big school, which can be up to 650 children, into smaller schools. So children don't get lost, and we're able to really focus closely on the educational and the pastoral and well-being needs of all of our students. rooms 13, 14, 15 and 16. And after the children have finished their first 3 years in the junior school, we take them and we mix them closer together by taking their thoughts and their needs and their friendship groups, we mix them all together, and this is one significant change maker. Then they're formed into the 3 senior teams, Team Kori, Team Titoki and Team Kahikatea. This is a typical senior classroom. This classroom is actually a year 6 class. So you can see it's slightly more traditional in terms of the space, the learning space, some of the furniture, and the way that children learn. You've just accessed the school through the La Loma entrance, and that's where most of our students would come into school. This area here is where 2 teams combine together. Room 17, room 18, rooms 19 and room 22 are part of Team Titoki, and then 20, 21 and 23 and 24 on our field is part of Team Kahikatea. This area here gives us another covered facility. This area here is largely a senior area, and children will eat in this space. It's also the location of our ESOL classroom. This is our ESOL classroom. Children who come to our school for whom English isn't their first language or a language other than the one that they speak at home are eligible to come to our ESOL program, and that's operated by a full-time permanent teacher. Children will come to ESOL depending on their need. So some children who have a greater need will come on a daily basis, whereas some children may need slightly less time in here and they may come once or twice a week, and those lessons take place during lesson times. Welcome to our field and our playground. We're just about to go into the library. We've got large covered playground spaces. The covers were donated by our PTA. A very popular basketball court. And the final 2 classes, room 23 and 24, which belong to Team Kahikatea. And we're kind of looking back now towards the junior classroom. Welcome to our school library, which is an amazing facility in our school. Opens in the morning before school, opens across lunchtime, and is incredibly popular with our students, and home to our full-time librarian. A very well-stocked library with a very ample budget, which we use to spend on new reading materials. We are a big believer in our school in paper materials and the feel and the importance of real books.